Hi there, it's Sarah from Inspire Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Let's see what message Spirit has for us today. Justice. I love the Justice card. This card to me is all about divine justice, and that everything is in perfect order in the universe and we reap what we sow. And this is the natural law of God, and it applies to everybody. And we're always being taught when we do something that is not loving, then the universe will reflect that back to us, essentially giving us opportunity after opportunity to see it and heal. And when we're unconscious, we don't realise, we just think things are being done to us. But the more we step into our power, the more we can see that everything that happens to us in the external world is just feedback. And yeah, divine justice is on everybody's side. Higher intelligence is just very clever. I call it the law of love, which rules over the universe, and it rules over any man-made laws or anything, because man-made laws are created out of fear, and they're based on duality and limited understanding. So yeah, it's good to know that the laws of God can overrule any man-made laws. And even this can seem a bit mind-boggling, but from a higher perspective, it's much kinder, much wiser, and much more helpful for everyone in the long term. So yeah, I really do like I like the Justice card. So the Eight of Cups is about being forced to level up. Move these over slightly. Yeah, the Eight of Cups card, it says change, shift, and change. And essentially the Eight of Cups is, yeah, we're being forced to level up. We know that we need to walk away from something. And this can sometimes happen as a result of justice, in that something happens to us that doesn't seem fair, and we can get upset about it, and then we kind of go away and we do the inner work, and then we're forced to level up. And the universe is always giving us opportunities to see that we're on the receiving end of our own stuff, and that we're always healing. So yeah, when we're unawakened and we're unaware and we believe that there is no God, and that we're being badly done to and we're a victim, then it's not easy to live in the world. It's very confusing. Whereas when we understand the laws, the universal law of love, then we can kind of use it to transmute any darkness and things that we have. And the Star card talks very much about us having hope and healing and trust. And the more that we understand that everything, the universe has our back, and that we're always being given lessons and opportunities to learn, the more we can trust and appreciate, and have hope and faith, and we understand how miracles work. Yeah, so these cards are very inspiring coming out together. I like them. The Six of Swords is a card of moving on to calmer waters, and the Three of Cups. So yeah, after the conflict and defeat and threat of the Five, we move on to calmer waters, where we're releasing baggage. It's very much a rite of passage. It just means it's time to grow and we're leaving something behind. We do need to process any emotions that come with this, but we have faith that things are improving. Which brings us to the Three of Cups, and it says family, friends, joy, abundance, which is nice. And yeah, we often find that life can go in cycles where it's all about ebb and flow, and 1 minute it's great, and then the next minute it seems difficult, and then great, and then difficult. And really we're just kind of spiraling up and being given opportunities all the time, but we have the support of our friends and family with us. And if we don't have the support of friends and family, then maybe we can find a community or other people who are on the same path of a like mind who can support us. And whenever we put that prayer out to the Spirit will always find us someone to interact with, who can help us on our path. And I think, like Christ's vision, I always think of as seeing things with hindsight. So whenever we look back to things that have happened in the past, we can see how they were helpful, but in the moment, it can feel anything but helpful. But as our consciousness expands, we get this more zoomed out perspective, and we get to see how, for example, friendships and jobs and everything falling away leads us to something that's more aligned with our current level of consciousness. And it can feel difficult as things, with the Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords, these two cards are very much about leaving something behind, which can feel challenging, but at the same time it's part of the healing path, because it does say in A Course in Miracles that over time we just get to see, the Spirit gives us repeated opportunities to see that everything that we leave behind that we think was valuable doesn't really have any value, other than being a vehicle for showing us that it doesn't have any value, and that we can just rinse and repeat. The Knight of Wands. Are we straight? Yeah, the Knight of Wands is a mover and a shaker, somebody who's very passionate and spontaneous. So this can often happen when we've been through periods of difficulty and growth. We kind of feel fired up again. And when our consciousness levels up, we can find that we have access to purer aspects of ourselves. So for example, our creativity, I felt that my creativity went offline for quite a few years when I was in the depths of healing, and now it's come back and I love it. And it's kind of playing out in many areas of my life. And creativity affects so many areas of our life. We can apply creativity to anything, even to doing the housework, doing hobbies, having parties, anything. It can apply it to absolutely anything. And the Spirit can use everything that we create for our mind training. So yeah, it's extra good. So jumping out these cards today. Temperance is the card of balance. Are we straight? Balancing, usually balancing in more light with the darkness is how I like to see the Temperance card. It says guidance, healing and moderation. So yeah, a little bit more of what the Spirit wants for us. Often I associate the Temperance card with resting and rebalancing, but also seeing things from a wider perspective. And this is something that happens whenever we go through something that seems tumultuous, and we get that hindsight, that gift of Christ's vision, then we just see things from a more expanded perspective. And we always think, oh, whenever I go into the next situation in my life, I'll remember that. But we're always given a new challenge and a new challenge and a new challenge. But also at the same time, we have opportunities to show that we've learned. And the Eight of Pentacles card is all about being diligent, working hard and staying focused, and building skills and being very committed to our craft. So yeah, the Spirit can use many things that we do. Like this lady is a beekeeper, and I'm sure that being a beekeeper brings all sorts of challenges. It says hard work, results, education and achievement. And yeah, the more we apply the teachings and forgiveness to our daily life, the more that we can see that everything that happens to us is helpful. And it helps us, I think it helps us to just kind of go into something that we're doing in some sort of function, to glean as much as we can from anything, from whatever it is we're doing, but also we're more able to let go. As we develop and grow in trust, we're more able to let go of whatever we're doing. When we can see that it's the Spirit has brought an end to whatever it is we're doing, or shifted it in a new direction, then we trust that we're not too attached to the form. The Four of Wands. Fabulous card about creativity, union and freedom. So yeah, I associate this card with a celebration. Sometimes it's to do with marriage, but it's always a harmonious union of people, or yeah, just a joyous celebration. And as we heal, we see that we kind of feel this in mind, because everything is in mind. And I find this on my healing path, that when you reconnect to who you are inside, which is essentially the extent to which you connected to God is also the extent to which you feel connected to other people. So whenever we work on our connection with God, we automatically feel more connected to other people, because we're aligned with God's way of thinking, which does bring that feeling of union and freedom. It's like an inner union. And also when we do creative things and we feel very much in flow, then that brings us into it's almost like a celebration of our divinity when we create. And that's why so many people love to create. The world. So this is a card all about, I need to cover her up. Lovely lady. I need a big stone for that one. Let's go for this big pink one. So yeah, the world card is all about completion and satisfaction and wholeness, which flows in beautifully actually after the Four of Wands, because the Four of Wands is all about collaboration and celebration, where everything's harmonious and stable. And the world, yeah, is very much the satisfaction that we feel when we achieve that feeling of oneness and resonance, and we're growing together. Yeah, it's quite an accomplishment for humans, because when we listen to the ego, we feel very separate. So yeah, when we work together, we do reap the rewards of that. It feels good and we have more connection. The Magician. So yeah, the Magician is a card about alchemy, about using it says power, action and skill. And the Magician is using all the power within to create. And as long as we align our mind with healthy thinking, then we can create beautiful things in the world, things that are very helpful for humanity. For example, I'm really loving the tarot, obviously, at the moment, and that it is helping me heal my mind. And anybody else who is interested in listening, it may be helping them heal their mind. I know that the tarot is used in many different ways, and these symbols are all about concepts and archetypes, and lessons and things that we encounter in our life. So the spirit uses them, the symbols, to help us in a way that helps us heal, but where we have proof about something that we need to look at, which also helps us strengthen our intuition and trust our intuition. So yeah, we're going to create beautiful things and share them with the world. And the High Priestess. The High Priestess is I kind of like, think of this card as a bit of a light worker, somebody who's very in tune with their divine mission, somebody who's very mystical and understands their inner voice and the power of understanding their dreams, and the wisdom of the universe. I'm just somebody who's very tapped in to guidance and the right mind. So yeah, that seems like a really good way to end the reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I think these cards are fab. They're very colourful. There's lots of information in them, and they kind of remind me of stained glass windows. They're just very vibrant. Yeah, I find that whenever I read with different tarot decks, it seems to evoke a different state of being within me, and enables me to see different things and think differently. Some of them are more abstract, and this one's just very symbolic. So yeah, I'm very grateful to the creators of these tarot decks on my journey. Right, I love you all. I'll see you again. Bye.